The game is over, but our coverage continues.
Execution.
Final score, updated standing, post-game reaction. It's time to break it down with Friday Night Thunder.
Broadcasting live from the Al White Ford Lincoln Studios. You can trade right with Al White. Dennis Weaver, Brian Markham, Samantha Waters, Josh Peterson, and the scoreboard engineer extraordinaire, Danny Catalano. Danny is working magic tonight, and he's got the scores going, and he has filled up the phone, or he has filled up our scoreboard. You want to check it out at FridayNightThunder.com. But we're going to go to the phone lines. We got to get Tom Kreager on the phone. He is on the Sweet Tea Bakery hotline. Sweet Tea Bakery, the makers of birthday cakes, wedding cakes, even a baby shower cake for Megan Quinn. It is a Sweet Tea Bakery. Check them out on Facebook at Sweet Tea Bakery. Tom, are you still with me?
I'm still with you, Dennis. How you doing?
I'm doing great. I appreciate you holding on through the break. That was a hard break, and we couldn't wait. So, but I appreciate it. You were at a Oakland Smyrna game, and it sounded like Oakland had fins up.
Yeah, Oakland kind of dominated in the second half. You know, they're up 16-14 at halftime and shut Smyrna down the rest of the way. Matt Rodell had about 189 yards passing in the first half, and they had maybe 15 yards in the second half. I thought they did a good job there. I think the big thing what Matt Williams was saying afterward was Smyrna could not get their ground game going. Oakland's defense really stood tall and kept them grounded. And on the flip side, Fred Wade had probably his best night as an Oakland Patriot. Had 210 yards rushing, 4 touchdowns for Mr. Wade.
Yeah, I was keeping track of that, and I've got that in my headlines notes over here for 4 touchdowns. But it does sound like that. Didn't he score touchdowns on the first 2 touches of the game? His first two touches were touchdowns. Yes. Wow.
And I guess the big thing, if you're a fan walking out of there, may not have noticed because I don't think they stopped the game for him or anything like that. But I believe Josh Smith, linebacker for Oakland, he's got offers from Tennessee and Vanderbilt. I believe he was on the sideline toward the end in the second half wearing a protective boot. So Mass Coach McDaniel does not know the extent of that. He'll just have to go out and see. Had a couple other guys down. No one else was really serious. Most of it was cramps and maybe a sprain or two.
Well, it sounds like Matt Rodell had a good passing game for Smyrna. Fred Wade had a good rushing game for Oakland. Who else were some of the stars?
Well, I thought this defensively, both teams had their highlights. DJ Williams for Smyrna had his 4th pick of the season in 5 games. I thought Emmanuel Smith had a couple good catches. I mean, for passing wise, Rhett Stacy threw for about 115 yards. He looked pretty good. I mean, they're not going to just kill you throwing the football because they don't have to because of the way they can run the football. But if they're getting 115 to 150 yards passing out of Rhett Stacy, they're going to win because you can't get 100 and some yards out of Rhett, and then because if that's the case, they're also going to be running the ball very effectively.
Smyrna hit a couple of big passes. One of them I think for 80 yards or so. Listening to the game sounded like maybe a size advantage for Smyrna's receivers over Oakland's defensive backs. They open up any clues for anybody else to beat them in the secondary, or just hit up on a couple of big plays?
No, I actually did talk to Coach McDaniel about that very same thing. I asked him about a size advantage because Darrell Harrelson, the guy that had the 2 touchdowns, he's a bigger receiver. He's about 6'1", 6'2", and he was on George Debisi. Probably Coach Mack said he's their lockdown corner, and what he said the first one was it was an issue where it was a miscommunication on a play. Someone didn't switch, I believe, and then the second one he just got lost in the play. It wasn't a size thing. He just had a moment where he just had a bad play there.
All
so
right.
it wasn't so much the size as it was just one of them was a bad didn't switch, and one of them was just a brain lapse.
Hey,
nice. I don't know if I can say the other word on air.
Yeah, well, I couldn't have stopped you. I mean, we got the dump button, but Rob usually keeps the dump button, and he took it with him.
Yeah.
So, all right, Tom, we will talk to you next week. Good job as always, my friend.
All right. Thank you, Dennis.
All right. Tom Kreager with the Daily News Journal.